What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a social media ghostwriter by creating a simple workflow right here in Anytime. Let's get started. In Anytime, I've created a workflow that I've renamed to social media ghostwriter. And here, we're going to start by adding a trigger. I'm going to choose an on-form submission trigger. Here, we're going to add the title, description, and the various form elements to our trigger. The title of our form will be on the lines of social media content request form. The form description could be on the lines of provide the details below to generate ready to publish social media content tailored to your brand voice and audience. Here we also add in the various form elements to our form over here. First field name to our form elements is on the lines of what is your company name, element type we're choosing text, and here you can also add a placeholder. The second field name is on the lines of what is your target audience, element type we're choosing text. This field can also be required. The other field name is on the lines of what platform would you like to post on, element type we're choosing a drop-down list, and here we're adding these various options for here. So we can choose to generate a LinkedIn post, Twitter post, Instagram post, Facebook, TikTok, or Threads post. You can see this field is required. The other field name is on the lines of what content type are you looking to post. So the element type, I'm choosing a drop-down list and adding these various options right here. So you can choose educational, promotional, storytelling, or announcement as the various options. The other field name is on the lines of what's your main message or content brief. Element type, I'm choosing text. The other field name is on the lines of what is your brand voice. Element type here, we're choosing a drop-down list and adding these various options right here, like professional, casual, witty, bold, and empathetic. And the last field name is on the lines of what is your key call to action. Element type, I'm choosing text. So now here, I'll click on execute step to fill out our form. Now here we're going to add the name of our company. Target audience, we can say we're targeting small business owners and consultants. Platform, we can generate a LinkedIn post. Content type, I'm going to choose educational. The content brief, you can say we help coaches and consultants automate lead generation. Brand voice, you can say professional. And the call to action, you can say book a free process audit. And then here, I'll click on submit our form. You can see our form was submitted. Now here, you can see we captured our information that we just submitted via our form. You capture the company name, target audience, platform would like to post, content type, content brief, brand voice, call to action, and when we submitted our form for here. So here, I'll pin the data and use the data to set up our workflow. The next thing that we're going to do here is we can wait a few seconds before we start setting variables for our submission. So here, we can wait, let's say 5 seconds. Then I'll rename this to wait 5 seconds. Then here I'll click on rename. Now the next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to set the variables of our submission. So to do that, I'm going to search for the set and then click on the node over here. You'll need to execute this node first. Then here, I'll open this node. You can start setting these variables over here. So here, I'm going to drag the company name right here. You can name this to company name. So drag the target audience over here. Name this to target audience. I'm also going to drag this one right here. I'm going to name this to platform. I'm going to drag this one also right here and name this to content type. I'm going to drag the content brief right here. Name this to content brief. You can do the same. You can do the same with the brand voice over here. And lastly, you can add our key call to action right here. And then here, click on execute step to set our variables. You can see we set our variables right here. This is amazing. Now, the next thing that we're going to do here is we can use AI to enrich our data that we submitted via our form. We're going to enrich the data so we can generate a comprehensive post to our specific platform. So here I'm going to use an AI tool. So in AI, I'm going to click on OpenAI, and here I'm going to click on message model. Here you'll need to create a credential by clicking on create a new credential to connect your OpenAI account to any10. To do that, all you have to do is just add your API key over here from your OpenAI API, then click on save to create your credential. Since I have already done that, I'm going to close this right here, and then I'm going to choose a model. I'm going to choose GPT 4.1 over here, or you can choose the latest model. The latest model that we're using currently is GPT-5. I'm going to stick with GPT 4.1. And here we're going to add a prompt for the system role. The prompt could be on the lines of you're an assistant that prepares structured content briefs for social media ghostwriting. Then here I'll click on add message. And then here I'll click on expression to add the prompt for the user role. And the system message could be on the lines of take the following raw form inputs and normalize them into a clear, concise JSON object. Here we're adding our submission, we're adding our company name, target audience, platform, content type, content brief, brand voice, and call to action. And there's a output I would like to generate over here, including summaries of the message, some key points, tone, call to action, keywords, hashtags, assets, and more. And here, I'll click on back to canvas over here. I'll click on execute step to enrich our content brief. You can see our node was executed successfully, and we successfully enriched our content brief over here. But this is incredible. So here, I'll rename this node to enrich content brief, and then I'll click on rename. Now with our enriched content brief data over here, we can proceed to now generate platform specific posts. Use an AI tool, so I'll click on AI and use OpenAI right here. And then here I'll click on message model. Here we're going to choose my credential right here. And then I'm going to choose a model. I'm going to stick with 4.1 mini. And here we're going to add the prompt for the system role. The prompt could be in the lines of you're a professional ghostwriter creating high value content for a specific platform. And then I'll click on add a message to add the prompt for the user role right here. The prompt could be in the lines of use the following research and enriched context. And here we're adding our enriched data. We're telling the AI deliver immense value by helping the audience, primarily business owners and professionals, with actionable insights, strategies, and perspectives they can immediately apply. Write one master post tailored to a specific platform with these requirements. We're telling the AI, begin with a strong, curiosity-driven one-line hook that grabs attention. Write a 2 to 4 paragraph body that provides practical advice, lessons learned, or frameworks that directly help business owners. It should also be a mix of storytelling, credibility, and clear takeaways. It should also break down concepts simply so that the reader leaves with new clarity or a specific next step. The paragraph should end with a clear, compelling call to action that involves engagement or reflection. It should match the tone, formatting, and the style expected on a specific platform. For example, in LinkedIn, we like to use a professional yet conversational tone, 1 to 3 short paragraphs, and include a reflective or engaging question. For Twitter, we like a concise, punchy, and under 280 characters per post. Also share one sharp insight or step, optionally chain into a thread. For Instagram, we like to use a relatable, human, and warm tone with less than 2,000 characters, with storytelling style, with hashtags, placed in a first comment. For Facebook, we like an approachable, medium length, focus on connection and community tone that encourages discussion or shares. For TikTok, we like to use a short script style copy with a hook in the first line, conversational advice, and call to action to comment, follow, or try the advice. For the final output format, we like to output the specific platform that we like to post and the full master post that we're going to generate using this node over here. So here, I'll output our content as JSON, and then I'll click on execute step right here to generate our master post. You can see our node was executed successfully, and we're generating a LinkedIn post. And you can see the specific post that we generated right here. This is incredible. You can see the hook right here, the post directed to business owners over here, how they can benefit from automation. Here, you can see a clear call to action and some relevant hashtag related to the post. This is amazing. So our node is generating for us a platform specific post using this node. So here, I have renamed this node to platform specific post generator, and here I'll click on rename. Now the next thing that we can do right here, we can try generating an image to accompany our post. To do that, we're going to use our post right here to generate a prompt that we're going to use to generate an image. So here, I'll click on AI, then click on OpenAI again, then I'll click on message model again. Here, I'm going to choose our model. I'm going to choose 4.1 mini. And then here, we're going to add a prompt for the system role. The prompt could be in the lines of you're a creative director, and you'll add a message to add a prompt for the user role. Here, I'll click on expression, expand it right here, so we can add our prompts. The prompt could be in the lines of using the following post content, generate a clear and visually compelling image prompt that will serve as a companion visual for the post. And then here we're adding our post that we generated right here. You can see the LinkedIn post that we generated using a platform-specific post generator node. And here we're outlining some requirements that would like the AI to follow. We're telling the AI the image must reinforce the core message of the post and resonate with the target audience, which in this case they are business owners, coaches, or consultants. We'd also like the AI to use a style that is professional, modern, and clean, appropriate for social media marketing. Focus on concepts like automation, time saving, streamlined processes, business growth, and enhanced client experience. Avoid generic stock photo vibes. Think in terms of strong metaphors, storytelling visuals, and sleek business or tech themes. And lastly, output the prompt in a natural descriptive text ready for use with an AI image generator tool. And for the final output, we're outputting the image prompt only. So here, I'll output our content as a JSON, and then I'll click on execute step to generate our prompt from our post that we generated right here. You can see the incredible prompt that we generated using this node right here. So now here, I rename this node to image prompt generator. And then here I'll click on rename, and now we can proceed to generate our image. So in AI, I'm going to click on OpenAI again, and here I'll click on generate an image node right here. Then here I'm going to map our prompts that we just generated right here. And then I'll click on execute step to execute our node and generate our image. You can see that our node was executed successfully, generated our image right here. To preview the image, just click on view, and you can see the incredible image that it generated for us over here. This is amazing. It's an incredible image right here. Now the next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to set a variable one more time. So here, I'll search for the set a variable node right here. Here, we'd like to set a variable for our post. So here, I'm going to go back to our platform specific post generator. I'm going to drag this over here. Now, here, I'll rename this node to set post. And then I'll click on rename. Now, the next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to pass our post via an editorial checker node. So here, I'll click on AI, then click on OpenAI, then I'll click on the message MRL node one more time. Here, we'll need to execute this node first. And then I'll open this node. Here, I'm going to choose a model. I'm going to choose 4.1 mini. And here, we're going to add the prompt for a system role. The prompt could be in the lines of you're an expert editor and proofreader. Then you'll click on add a message to add a prompt for the user role. And I'll click on expression and expand it right here. The prompt could be in the lines of review the following text carefully for errors and weaknesses. And here we are in the platform that we're posting or post and the post that we generated for that specific platform. Then we're telling the AI check and correct for grammar mistakes, spelling errors, punctuation issues, awkward phrasing or redundancy, inconsistent tone or style, clarity and flow, and professional polish while keeping the original content. Then we're also outlining some requirements where we're telling the AI do not change the meaning of the text, keep the style aligned with the brand tone, professional, educational, and value driven. Output the fully corrected and polished version of the text only. Do not include explanations, notes, or commentary, just improved text. And then for the final output, we'd like to output the platform and the specific post. So here, I'll click on execute step to check our post right here. So here, I'll output the content as a JSON, and then I'll execute the node one more time. can see now our node was executed successfully, and we passed our post to this node to check any errors, grammar mistakes, and so on and so forth. You can see our post right here and the specific platform that we like to post our post. Here, I'll first of all rename this to editorial checks, then click on rename. And now we can send ourselves the cleaned post via email to either approve it or disapprove it. So to do that, I'll send myself the post via email. But you can also choose other platforms like WhatsApp, Telegram, or Slack. But I'm going to choose Gmail. So I'll click on Gmail, and then Gmail, I'm going to click on the send message and wait for response node. Here you need to create your credential by signing in with your Google account. And then on the new window that pops up, choose the account that you'd like to connect to anytime, and your credential will be created. Since I had already done that, I'm going to close this, and here I'll add my email. That I'd like to send myself the post, and then here you can add a subject line. The subject line could be in the lines of, here's a generated social media post, and we're going to mark the post right here. And here we can either approve or disapprove the post. So I'll click on add options. I'll click on approve and disapprove type right here. Can rename this to disapprove instead of decline. And then I'll click on add an option right here. And then I'll click on append init and attribution and turn it to off. And then here I'll click on execute step to send myself the post via email. When I open my inbox, you can see we got our email right here. Here's the subject line and the post that we just generated using our workflow right here. So you can choose to approve it or disapprove it. I'll choose to disapprove it, so I'll click on disapprove. You can see the result was false since we didn't approve our post. Now the next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to add a condition. So I'll search for the if else node right here, and then if the value is I'll choose a boolean. Here I'll choose a boolean and say if it's true, I like to pass it through the true branch, but if it's false, we like to pass it through the false branch right here, like in our situation. So if it's true, we're going to proceed to add the client data and the post to a database. But if we disapprove our post, we're going to regenerate our post again using AI. So since we disapproved our post here, we're going to use an AI tool to regenerate our post. So I'll click on OpenAI, and then I'll click on message model over here. Here I'm going to choose my accounts and the model. I'm going to choose 4.1 mini. And then here we're going to add the prompt for the system role. Prompt could be in the lines of, you're a professional ghostwriter. And here we're going to add a prompt for the. Now the prompt could be in the lines of, the following post draft was disapproved and needs to be regenerated. And here we're adding the post that we disapproved, which is this post right here. We're also adding the content brief since we would like to regenerate a new post. Then we're telling the AI, rewrite the post so it better aligns with the brand and audience. Also outlining some requirements. We're telling the AI, keep the same core message, but present it with a stronger storytelling, clarity, and flow. Sharpen the hook to make it more curiosity-driven and attention-grabbing. Ensure the body provides more value, actionable advice, insights, or steps that directly help business owners. Strengthen the call to action so it's clear, compelling, and easy to act on. Maintain a specified tone and follow the formatting rule for the specific platform. In our case, it's LinkedIn. The final output will like to output the platform and the new post that we're going to regenerate using this tool. Yeah, I'll output our content as a JSON. Then I'll click on execute step to regenerate our post. You can see it's executing our node. Let's give it a second. You can see here we generated a new post for us over here for this specific platform. So here I'll rename this node to regenerate post and then click on rename. Now, after we've regenerated our post, I'd like to pass it to our editorial checks node right here. So now here, I'll test our workflow again. So I'll click on execute workflow to generate our post, then disapprove it to regenerate it again. So you can see how our workflow works. So here we can see generated for us our post and our image right here. pass it through the editorial checks node over here, and we send ourselves the post via email to either approve or disapprove it. I'm going to choose to disapprove it so we can regenerate our post. You can see we regenerated a new post using this node, pass it through the editorial checks node over here, and then we send ourselves the post to either approve or disapprove the new. This one, I'm going to choose to approve it over here. You can see our workflow is executed successfully. So our workflow works perfectly. Now the next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to use the switch node to post our social media post that we just generated to the specific platform that we generated the post. So here, if the platform is LinkedIn, I'll rename this path to LinkedIn. You can do for Facebook, can say the platform is Facebook. I'll rename this article to Facebook. You can do a last one for Twitter. So if the platform is Twitter, I'll rename this article to Twitter. You can do only for the 3 examples, but you can include the rest like Instagram, TikTok, or Threads. I'm going to use these 3 as our examples. And executing our node, you can see that we generated using our workflow was for LinkedIn. Okay. So now, yeah, we can proceed to add our post to a database or a spreadsheet. You can choose the tool like to use a tool like Airtable, ClickUp, Monday, or a Google Sheet. In our case, I'm going to choose to use a Google Sheet to add our client data and our posts. In Google Sheets, I've created a spreadsheet that I've renamed to social media posts. Here's where we're going to add our form submission and the social media posts that we generated using our workflow. So here we're going to add the company name, target audience, platform, content type, content brief, brand voice, call to action, and social media posts. To do that, here, I'll search for Google Sheets, and I'll click on Google Sheets. And then here I'll click on append drawing sheet. You'll also need to create a credential like we did with the nodes right here. And then sign in with your Google account. And then on the new window that pops up, choose the account that you'd like to connect to anytime. And your credential will be created. And since I had already done that, I'm going to close it right here. And here I'm going to choose our document, choose this document right here. Our sheet is going to be this sheet. Then here, we're going to map values to our columns with the data from our workflow. So for the company name, I'm going to map it right here. Same as the target audience, platform, content type, content brief, brand voice, call to action, and lastly will be a social media post. So the social media post will be this post over here. So now the next thing I'll do is just click on execute step to add our data to our spreadsheet. Now when I open our spreadsheet, you can see we added our data right here. We added the company name, target audience, the specific platform we generated the post for, content type, content brief, brand voice, call to action, and the social media post that we generated right here. This is incredible. So here in our workflow, so here we can rename this to LinkedIn. Here, you can also choose to duplicate this node 3 times. So this one will be for Facebook. So I'll rename this to Facebook. Then I'll click on rename. And then I'll duplicate this node again. And then this one will be for Twitter. I'll rename it right here. So now the next thing that we can do after we added our post or our database to a spreadsheet, we can now proceed to post our post to a specific social media platform. So if it's LinkedIn, I'll search for LinkedIn right here. Click on LinkedIn, and here I'm going to click on create a post. Here you'll need to create a credential by clicking on create a credential right here. Then here click on connect to my account, and on the new window that pops up, choose the account that you'd like to connect to anytime. I'm not going to do that for now. And then here we're going to add our post, which will be this post right here. Here we can also choose a media category and choose the image that we just generated using our workflow right here, which was this image over here. And then to post it, all you have to do is just click on execute step to post our post with the image to LinkedIn right here. You can also do the same with Facebook. So here you need to you're going to use this API. Here you'll also need to create a credential right here by clicking on create a new credential, add your access token to create your credential, you'll need to make an API call to post your image and your post to Facebook, on Facebook. Same with Twitter. Yeah, I'll search for Twitter. Click on Twitter. Here, I'm going to create a tweet. So I'll click on the node right here. Here, you're going to add only the posts that we generated using our workflow over here. You can also add the media ID over here to post our image using this node, but I'm not going to do that. Inside here, I'm going to deactivate these nodes over here. And now I'll try to test our workflow so we can see how it works. Now, to test our workflow, here, I'll unpin this data. Here, I'll unpin this data. Then I'll click on execute workflow right here. Here, we're going to add a company name. For example, we can say your company is called Freelancer Digital Agency. Our target audience is small business owners and consultants. Platform can say someone can generate a Facebook post. Would like to promote content type. I'm going to choose a promotion post. Content brief can say we help coaches and consultants automate lead generation. Brand voice, we can say casual. And the call to action, we can say book a free process audit. And then here I'll click on submit. You can see our form is submitted. So here, you can see it's waiting for us to either approve or disapprove our content, our post that is generated for us over here. Post that is generated for us over here. I'm going to choose to disapprove it so we can regenerate a new post. You can see now after we disapproved our post, it regenerated a new post right here, passed it to the editorial checks node, and sent ourselves a new post to either approve or disapprove the post. This is a new post that is generated for us over here. I'm going to choose now to approve it. You can see now our workflow is executed successfully. So here we captured the information that we submitted via our form right here. So the company name was Opulence. Here's the target audience platform that would like to generate a post for. Content type, content brief, brand voice, and the call to action right here. Then we waited a few seconds and then set the variables for form submissions over here using this node. Then we enriched the content brief using this node. Then using this node, we generated the platform specific post. Using this node, we generated an image prompt from our post. Then using the prompt, we generated an image using this node right here. Then we set the post variable right here. Then pass the post to the editorial checks node right here to correct any mistakes or errors that we may have made right here. And then we send ourselves the post via email for us to either approve or disapprove the post. Then if we disapprove the post, we are regenerating a new post using this node right here, then passing it to the editorial checks, and then sending the new post to us via email to either approve or disapprove the post over here. So if we approve the post, we're now going ahead and adding the form submission and the post that we just generated using our workflow to our spreadsheet, as you can see right here. So we added the company name, target audience, platform, content type, content brief, brand voice, call to action, and the social media post that we just generated over here. So you can see the comprehensive post for this specific platform that we generated using our workflow over here. So now after we added our post to our spreadsheet, now if you had already created these connections, you can proceed to post the social media post to the specific platform you generated the post. Okay, so our workflow works perfectly. Here we are capturing the submission, then we are enriching the content brief using this node, then we're generating the platform specific post using this node right here. We're also using the post to generate an image prompt to post with the social media post that we generated using this node. Then here we are generating the image, and then we're proceeding to set a variable for the post using this node right here. Then we're passing the post to the editorial checks node And then we're sending ourselves a post via email to either approve or disapprove the post. And if we disapprove it, we're regenerating a new post within this node and then passing it to the editorial checks and then sending the new post to ourselves via email to either approve or disapprove it. And then if we approve the post, we're now proceeding to add the form submission and the social media post that we just generated using this workflow to our database or a spreadsheet. As you can see right here, where we're adding the company name, target audience, platform, content type, content brief, brand voice, call to action, and the comprehensive social media post that we just generated using our workflow, as you can see over here. So our social media ghostwriter workflow works perfectly. Now, if you'd like me to create this workflow for you or a workflow similar to this one, just click the first link in the description to schedule a call with me. On the call, we'll discuss into details the workflow that you'd like me to create for you, and then I'll go ahead and create the workflow for you. But if you enjoyed this video and you have a workflow or an AI agent that you'd like me to create using any 10, just comment down below in the comment section. I read all the comments, and if I land on your comment and I find it intriguing, I'll come back on a future video showing you how to create the entire workflow or AI agent from scratch using any 10. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.